I'm joined by Bill Farren-Prince, Petroleum Policy Intelligence. Bill, thanks so much for joining us here. We are in Riyadh. The Charter has just been signed, something that everybody wanted in place for a while. Does this give a lot more credibility to the IEF? Does it give it a lot more strength and indeed really secures the Secretariat, I think?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. It builds out the structure and the basic building blocks of a dialogue that now has a proper legal structure, and although it's not internationally binding, it gives a proper place for consumers and producers of oil to have a dialogue that can go beyond the headlines that sometimes in previous decades has dominated the exchanges.
Well, it's quite an achievement getting, almost 90 countries to actually sign this, combination of producers and consumers. And again, I think it plays, fair credit to them that they've actually got that amount of people in place, because that's huge.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia is well positioned to, be able to draw these countries. It has the credibility as the world's largest oil exporter. It has the presence and it has the institutional capacity to host these types of meetings, and they are consistent and conservative and direct, and I think that is appreciated by all of the countries who are coming here.
And now we're seeing a lot more consistency with the International Energy Agency, the International Energy Forum, and indeed with OPEC. So this has to be a good thing.
Yeah, I think so. I think the next step is that they need to work to work out where the differences are in the forecasting on oil demand. I think they need to work to improve the quality and timeliness of the data. And they also need to look at other areas of potential cooperation so that they can address long-term oil price volatility and deliver the sort of goals that they've set themselves.
And we're hearing here throughout this meeting too that need for stability, and also the fact that they want to encourage investment. I mean, it's a message we've heard time and time again, but that unity, I think, in terms of saying that stability has to be there, and that the IEF will now play a stronger role in making sure it is.
Yeah, I think it's always been clear that you needed stability of oil prices at a reasonable level for both sides to allow long-term investment in the energy cycle and for economies not to suffer as a result of high oil price spikes, and similarly not to have these big downside gaps in investment flow that actually ultimately harm the industry's ability to deliver the security of supply. And I think that there is a good consensus on that. The $70 to $80 oil area that has been identified by Saudi Arabia's King Abdullah seems to be appropriate for all sides, and although we're slightly above that at the moment, I think that long-term price range is absolutely achievable and is correct.
And just looking ahead in the oil fundamentals, looking at supply and demand, we are seeing an increase, though not as much in the coming year, for oil demand. But in the longer term, the increase is definitely there for all types of energy.
Yeah, particularly gas as well. Oil will hold its own in the energy mix going forward, so there's no question about that, barring any unforeseen developments in global economies. And gas, of course, will be increasing its share of the global energy mix over time. And of course, the IEF is moving to start a gas data project, a gas Jody, if you like, and that will help with that evolution.
And indeed, looking at that data that's there for oil, and indeed now, as you said too, looking for gas, this is surely something that people in your position, the economists and the analysts looking out there, this is something you really need, and you need probably better data and maybe quicker data.
I think everybody wants to see better transparency on consumption, supply, and balances and stocks. I don't think they are completely there yet. I think that there's improvement, and in fact the IEF Secretary General has acknowledged that himself. So there's no question that there's more work to be done, but broadly speaking, they're going on the right track and they're moving at a reasonable speed.
Thank you so much, Bill. Thanks for taking the time.
Okay, cheers.